Yo, what's up, everybody? We back for another episode of Scatterbrain, the Ray Bradford podcast. Of course, I am your host, Ray Bradford, the host with the most, who knows nothing. Knows I know enough not to know nothing. Come on now. Back for another episode. This is episode 56. This will not be a long episode. I hope not, unless I get to going down my rabbit holes. But I don't plan on going down rabbit holes. I plan on making quick, concise points. Get in, get out. Yeah, man. I really would love to hear thoughts and rebuttals to things that I have to say this episode, especially. This episode is for thinkers, not for people who just go. They just go with whatever you say. So I want this episode to be for actual thinkers, actual thought leaders too. I don't consider myself a thought leader. I don't want to say I'm a thought leader, but I do consider myself a thinker, somebody who could provoke some thought. Yeah, man, I hope y'all week been good. My week been good, man. I sent my hard drive off last week, man. Sent it off, waiting to get some word back, man. Hopefully, it sound good, you know. The disc wasn't messed up in the hard drive. The actual writers wasn't messed up. The input wasn't messed up. So it sounds like it's very salvageable. We're praying that it is actually salvageable. Yeah, man. I hope y'all Mother's Day went good. My Mother's Day went good, like I explained to y'all last week, man. I think I'm at peace with that, man. I had a friend ask me about it actually earlier this week. Like, man, how did you deal with Mother's Day this year? I was like, man, I didn't really have a problem with it. So you know, that was cool. Mother's Day was cool. This week was cool. Had a couple gigs this week, man. You know, good traveling gigs, man. Went down to New Orleans and then went to Mobile. The New Orleans gig was humid, bro. The South is a different place, man. The South is a different place, man. It's like it don't get hot sometimes. It just get humid. It just get extremely humid, and you just sweat because you're sitting out. Like, you know, you sitting still. You ain't moving. You just sitting here. And then you just start sweating, man. You just start sweating. I hope y'all in good headspaces. I hope everybody, you know, you're loving on the people that love you. Even the people that don't, well, if they don't love you, you ain't got to love on them. But sure, well, God say love them. God say love them. Take that back, Raymond. You know, just find a way to do what you know, send them a little sprinkle of love and go on about your way. Yeah, man. I had somebody tell me this weekend about a 70-year-old man, 70-plus-year-old man, who was like acting like a kid towards the person's parents. So it's a 70-year-old man and these two parents. You know, like the dude acting like a kid. It blew my mind. I never would have expected somebody that old to act like a kid. But it reminded me of the episode that I had Marlon on, where I played the video of the two sides where they were arguing about snow, and then it just escalated to dude killing the couple. And it was like, bro, this is what that sounded like to me. But I didn't want to tell the person that because I didn't want to scare them. I don't think I would have scared them at all anyway, but that's what it sounded like. I just never imagined someone that old being that, I don't want to say immature, but that petty. That's super petty, man. But then you look at Donald Trump and you say, well, it don't matter how old you get. You are what you are. You is what you is, and it ain't what you think. Before we start, man, I want to set a vibe, man. I want to set a vibe for this episode. Oh man, this is killing, man. This is killing. Let's see.
Everybody in the room say, I come to leave for jump. I come to leave for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody just leap for joy. Everybody just leap, everybody just a leap for joy. Hey! Yes, Lord. Scream it down! Yeah! Oh! Yeah. Doc, it's Pentecost Sunday, Doc. When the Holy Ghost tore the room apart, Doc. This is fitting, Doc. Yes, Lord. Play it again. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep for joy. That day is everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep for joy. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep. Everybody just sleep for joy. Come to lift him up. Come on, praise me. Yes, Lord. Everybody just lift him up. Yeah. Scream. Nah, I would have been in church bouncing like Snoop Dogg. Play it one more time. One more. We want the vibe to be set for this episode. Joy. We leaping for joy. Come on. One more time. Play. I just need a good talk right there. I need a little chang-a-lang. Yeah, Lord. It ain't nothing I can say right here. He's saying everything. Leap for your joy, man. Leap. Leap. Sometimes word fail, you just gotta scream. Yes, Lord. Dog, you ain't got no shoulder bouncing in, dog. I don't know. You ain't got no Holy Ghost. Oh! Doc, that thing there got me through the last couple hours. I know I just gave New Life. I think that's a church. I think they in Chicago. That's Jabari Johnson. Jabari Johnson who lead worship. He lead worship there. I think they in Chicago. I may be wrong, but I think they in Chicago. And when I tell you, I gave them folks every bit of 50 plays. Every bit of 50 plays. I ain't lying. Probably more than that. That thing tough. Super tough. Now, our church didn't do that for, you know what, I don't even want to play my church live stream. After you done heard that live stream and then I play my church live stream, they don't compare. They don't compare. That church live stream is fire. Our church went up a little bit. We did an old song. But Israel we did Lord You Are Good by Israel and New Breed. But man, Israel got some hits, bro. They can just be played in church and will turn the church out, man. Israel and New Breed, they got some hits, man. I wish more churches would play them. You hear a lot of groups playing them, and I used to play for a group out of Jackson that played some of Israel stuff, but like Israel is to me, he like the perfect blend of like funk, pop, gospel, rock. He like the perfect blend of all that stuff, man. Perfect blend of that, man. So we did Lord You Are Good, and then somehow or another it went somewhere. I wasn't expecting it to go, dog. Before you know it, I'm in church twisting my leg, twisting my butt. I look like I'm on stage at my secular shows, man. I wasn't dancing around. I was in my seat. But I said, God dog, Raymond, you gotta put your leg down, man. You look bad out here when you got your leg up. But yeah, man. So that's the vibe we on. It's Pentecost Sunday, man, for everybody who in the church world. You know what Pentecost Sunday is. Uh, the day that the Holy Ghost fell, and that's very broad terms. Uh, wow, good God Almighty. Uh, I got a message that just sent me to the moon, but yeah, that's a very broad description of Pentecost Sunday, but that's what I'll leave it at. The day the Holy Ghost fell in the room. I've heard it preached on a few times, a few different ways. You know, I done heard that it wasn't actually tongues; it was actually just different languages, and then they all was able to understand the language. It's a few things. Then I heard it was the actual tongues. Look, I ain't a Bible scholar, so I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I don't want to lie to nobody. But with that being said, I had a conversation with some guys. If they see this, they'll know who I'm talking about. I actually invited one of them on the podcast today. He's a preacher. He's a preacher. I invited him on the podcast today, but I guess I don't know. He didn't ever give me a confirmation, so I didn't ever lock it in with him. But hold on. Let me send my thumbs up to this group. Yeah. So I invited him. He's a preacher. And then I invited one of his well, I didn't invite his musician, but I had a conversation with one of his musicians, just in case y'all didn't understand what I said. And it was, I don't want to say the conversation was alarming, but it was kind of alarming. It's a conversation about the earth being flat. And if you watch this podcast, you've heard me talk a numerous amount of times about how can I put this? How can I put this? The fact that from 18 to about 30, maybe 31, I was very anti-Christianity. I'll be 35 in 2 months. In 2 months, I'll be 35. So for the 18 to about 31, I was very anti-Christianity. Not anti-God. I just want to clear that up. Not anti-God. I still believe in God. I had questions about God and questions for God, but I still believed. But just the thought about Christianity was tough for me. It was very tough. As you see my necklace, of course, I'm in that. If you can see it, I'll make it plain where you can see it. I'm in that, and then in that time frame, that was something I was joining. And like I told you, I read the Sada Shakur book, her biography, and it led me to digging down the hole of more African American history and then African stuff. Then I read about Christianity and Africans, blah blah blah. Just some of the falsehoods that have been given us that Christianity wasn't in Africa. I was on that falsehood early on, and I believed it. I really dug into that. This is all gonna stem in with the Earth being flat. So I'm trying to paint a picture. So ride with me. Ride with me. So I went into all that in my life, and in the process of doing that, I find out things about Christianity that really made me like, man, it's verses in the New and Old Testament that talk about obey your slave masters. I mean, yeah, your slave masters, your earthly slave masters, as you would obey in heaven and all that stuff. It's multiple verses. I'm not gonna quote the verses, but if you don't believe me, just research. Google will lead you to where you need to go. Because the crazy thing about the internet, you can always find what you're arguing for. You can always find it. You have to do a little searching for if you arguing against it. But anyway, research. So it's verses, and that used to mess me up, and I was like, man, I just don't agree with that. I still don't till this day. Even though I was finna say I would call myself, but I call myself a Christian. I still don't agree with that part of the Bible. I don't think anybody should have slaves. I don't care how rich you are, how wealthy you are. I don't think anyone should ever have slaves. And I don't care what type of servitude it is, whether it's just, you know, it's indentured servitude or it's chattel servitude, which was the Africans that turned into African Americans when we were chattel slavery. We were treated like animals. But you got your indentured servitude, which is kind of like, how can I put it? It's more of like, we conquered your tribe, we're gonna take you on, but you my slave. I'm still gonna put you in a nice, decent living arrangement, living area. You won't be treated bad, you won't be beat on and stuff. But you now my property. So you got that type of indentured servitude. So learning stuff about that, and then I look at how Christianity is spread. Now, I wanted to make sure before I came on here and said this, and especially I said it out loud, that I wasn't tripping, because this is something that's been like stuck in my brain since I learned it. I mean, like burned in my brain. So I learned about how Christianity was spread, like between the years of 1095 of 1095 to 1291. This is like, it was something called the Christian Crusades or the Crusades. If you know anything about Knights of Templar and stuff like this, you'll research that. Research Knights of Templar. I'm not here to give you details about that stuff. Just research some of the names I'm saying. Like Knights of Templar, research the Christian Crusades or Crusades. So it was a time period where Christianity was spread by war. And like, we would make other people believe what we believe. Now, what we believe horrible? No. It's actually most of this, what we believe is great for your life. It is great for your life. It will shape your life in a good way if you live by it, along with other modern principles. It will shape your life in a great way. It could be the ruling guide to to your faith, to your life. But that was one thing I learned. I learned about in that time period. I learned about the Christian Crusades and just how Christianity was spread. And I think it may have lasted longer than the Crusades lasted that long. But that's why a lot of wars were fought early on. It's like, hey man, we're gonna kill your king, take over your people, and we're gonna make all y'all believe what we believe. This is just a historical fact. If you research history and research things about this, that's how life was. So in the conversation about the earth being flat, I think I referenced this to the musician. I was like, hey, do you know how, side note, no, I finished that. I asked him, do you know how Christianity was spread? Well, I asked him how did he know how Christianity was spread because him and the preacher brought up that the Bible said Earth was flat. Forgot the actual verses that they named, but I know one of them is the four corners of the earth, and it was like two other verses that he stated. I was like, man, you know how Christianity was spread? Then I also asked him like, man, in that 18 to 30, 31 range, I was researching stuff like Illuminati. Researching stuff like Illuminati, which actually meant the enlightened ones. Not saying that what we think the Illuminati is today isn't a real thing. It could very well be a real thing. It could very well be the elite, the 1% of the world controlling everything. But back then, it was just a group of enlightened people who were smart, who realized, hey, it's something keeping us on Earth. Hey, the Earth isn't flat. Or, hey, it's things going on that we're made of atoms that got neutrons, all these type of people or whatever. I'm sure that came well after what I'm about to say, but it's just those type of people. So it was that group of people back in the day, the enlightened ones, which could have been called the Illuminati. Those people were being killed and prosecuted by the church because the church didn't want this stuff going out because it was going against the belief and the theories and the principles being taught by the church. I spent a good portion of my life talking about researching this stuff and talking to people about it. Not saying that I would like go into details and find the most educated people on it. No, and of course I'm googling and so some of my information could have been false, but this is what stuff that I was learning. So I asked him this. He's like, "No, I ain't never heard of that," and it bring up a question that I want to pose to Christians, because if you talk to a Muslim, especially if you talk to Minister Farrakhan, anybody close to Minister Farrakhan, a lot of Muslims, well, when I say Muslims, a lot of Nation of Islam, that's a specific sect of Muslims. But I'm sure if you talk to Middle Eastern Muslims and stuff like that, it's probably a good sect of them as well that can quote the Bible better than most Christians. And they know the history of the Bible and they know the history of this religion that we hold dear to our heart. They know it just as well, if not better than what we know. So it's a question that I would want to pose to Christians: that do you really know about your religion, about your faith? The good and the bad. Do you know the good and the bad? Not saying, when I ask that, I'm not saying that I know all the good and the bad, but I do know the good side, and I do know a lot of the good, and I do know some of the bad. I just know it isn't as pretty as we like to make it out, especially the spread of it, of how all these people came to be under this one religion. Was everybody forced to be Christian? No. Everybody was not forced to be Christian, because it was a time where the Roman Empire was killing all Christians. They want to kill every Christian. After Jesus died, they want to kill every Christian. It was a time. So not everybody was forced into this religion or to believe this religion. But it was a lot of people that was forced. A lot of Indians. A lot of, man, I read all the races earlier. Shoot. And I don't remember what paragraph it was in. Like the Aztec, Mayan, and the Inca people, they all they caught a beat down and had to become Christians. A lot of Mexicans, a lot of basically aborigines of this continent, were forced to be on there. A lot of Africans that became African Americans were forced to take that religion on. Now, being somebody who grew up in the religion, do I think it's a catch-22 to it? Was it the worst thing? No, it wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the worst thing because it actually turned out good for a good portion of our people. It turned out good for us, but some of us was forced. Some of us that were brought over, some of the Africans that were brought over here were forced to believe in that religion. Some of those Africans didn't believe in that, had their own practices, their own spiritual ways. Some of them were Muslims. Some of them had their other, whatever spiritual or religion they chose or spirituality they chose. They had that. But the question I like to pose is just to Christians is, do we know about our religion? Do you know about your religion? The good and the bad. Because that flat earth discussion like kind of threw me off. Cause like, man, you really don't know like how this was formed. Like the church was pushing for the longest that the earth was flat until you just had scientists come and prove like, no, it's not flat, bro. It's not flat. So what you say all that to say, Ray? I'm driving to my gig yesterday and I run across a Joe Rogan video. Well, before I'm driving, I'm at home and I run across a Joe Rogan video and I just play it even while on the way to my gig too. And it's a Joe Rogan interview with Terrence Howard. Joe, I don't even want to say Joe Rogan is an interview. He don't interview people. It's like, bro, just come on and let's just talk about whatever you're proficient in life. Let's talk about that. So it's just like a talk. It's just a conversation. It's a conversation with Terrence Howard. Man, skinny man. Skinny man. Say it ain't so, man. Skinny. Say this. Tell me it dropped out your pockets, man. Man, skinny man. That Terrence Howard. That Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard from Iron Man and stuff like the multi-layered, faceted Terrence Howard is having a conversation with Joe Rogan, but the conversation blew my mind from the gate because out the gate, Terrence Howard is saying, yeah, my earliest memory is when I woke up in my mom's womb. Bro, what are you talking about? Nobody remembers being in their mama womb, bro. So I'm automatically skeptical in this. I said this wasn't gonna be a long podcast, but it may be a long. But I'm automatically skeptical. So I'm reverse engineering. I'm starting at the end and working my way to what brought me to the question that I posed to everybody, which was, do you know about your religion? But yeah, so Terrence Howard, but I'm skeptical about the interview, but he started saying stuff and I'm like, oh, this dude is ridiculously smart. Who knew Terrence Howard was this smart? He like saying he went to college for like biochem or chemical engineering or some crazy thing. He was like, yeah, I went to class, me and the teacher started arguing and I dropped out. I dropped out. And he would become a mover and he do stuff like hustle and flow, skinny man. You hear him talk like Memphis people and you like, he can't be that smart. Because when you hear down south people talk, especially people like from Memphis, Alabama, or a deep part of Mississippi, or a deep part of Alabama, or like certain Florida dialects and lingos. You hear Atlanta, man. You hear Atlanta. Hey, partner, bop, 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 and then they get the pop. And it's like, whoa, I get it. You would think we slow, and just watching him take on that lingo so well. Because if you watch Hustle and Flow, he really sounds like he from Memphis, man. Really, that man, skinny man. Skinny is just the man name. Mine is just what Memphis people say. Hey, man, skinny man. When I heard him say, I was like, oh, this dude is for real in this role. You know, it's like, bro, you accepted that well to be this smart. But if you go watch this conversation, this interview, whatever you want to call it, with Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard, he is beyond intelligent, bro. He slick may be like, slick may be genius level, man. He may be a genius individual, man. Everything he talking about, I don't know. It's way over. It's like light years above my head. It's light years. I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. But he talking about, yeah, we finna kill gravity. We recreated Saturn on a thing with no gravity. All type of stuff, a linchpin and a textural thing. It's just a lot that I was like, bro, you way over my head. But this is an amazing interview, so I'm just gonna keep watching it. But what stuck out to me was this is at the 28-minute marker. If you want to go listen to it, so this is at the 28-minute marker. It's about Christianity.
Possibly pull that up, Jamie.
Again,
TCOTLC.com. You'll see in there the mistake that they made because they believed in straight lines, because the church was promoting the idea of straight lines. You just tap on right below there.
You heard that the church was promoting the idea of straight lines?
No, just go to the center of the page and right above that, and you see initial public draft, just tap on it.
So I'm going to skip a little bit.
And if you go to page 64, on the right, straight lines.
Why did they do that?
Because they believed that the world was flat. They believed the world was flat at the time. And the church promoted. Pythagorean theorem comes off of this cube, a squared plus b squared.
So when I was riding yesterday, it triggered like it was a trigger. I thought about the conversation. Oh, this is a church musician and a preacher telling me that the world is flat. Of course, you got people like Kyrie who don't believe in Christianity, who say the earth is flat. But where did he get it from? And I don't know where he got it from. I couldn't tell you where he got it from, but that would be my question. Where did you get it from? But that triggered that. Then I was like, oh, this man, he on what I already knew. That the church promoted this for the longest. And that's where, again, I asked the question, do we know about our religion and the faith that we profess? The good and the bad. Not just the good and the bad that's in the book, but the good and the bad that's on the outside of it. And it's one of those old things that's like, the good outweighs the bad by far. Outweighs it by far. But do you know both? Because this is another old saying, if you don't know your past, you'll never change your future type thing. I think I just finessed that saying. I finessed it all the way. But it's that. If you don't know your past, you can't really tell where you headed. You don't know where you headed because you don't. History just repeats itself. It just repeats itself. So I asked that question. And like really, look, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. I don't have to believe what you're saying. We don't have to agree. We don't have to disagree to agree. But I just would prefer that you think. If anything, let's both sides. Let's think. Let's think, man. If it's hard evidence and it's hard facts that can prove what I'm saying, but you have no hard evidence, no hard facts, no science, no nothing to back up what you're saying. It's kind of, it's catch-22. Obviously, if you're watching this, you can tell that I don't think the Earth is flat. I think the Earth is very round. It is very spherical. I'm struggling. Spherical. Spherical. It's very spherical. It sits on the X and the Y axis, running in the middle. But flat earthers think it's a dome. You got the firmament on the outside, and the Earth is round. It's round, but it's flat. It don't go up and it don't go down as far as that. It's just flat and round. It's like a disc, like a CD, basically like a CD. And on the edges of the CD is the firmament, and it makes a dome. I don't know. I recently heard about this like in the last 10 years. Blew my mind. I actually, if the pastor would have came on today, that would have been the most of what we talked about, because I just want to know. I want to know why you believe this. Where are you getting this information from? Who's telling you this? So, yeah, flat earthers. Flat earthers, especially church flat earthers. I don't even want to talk to the flat earthers that's regular flat earthers. Church flat earthers. Where did you learn about the faith and the religion that you profess? Learn about the good and the bad. Learn about where this came from. So when you're reading the Bible and you see four corners of the earth, and you want to say that it's four corners to the earth, which it can be four corners to a spear. Oh my God. I don't know why we even had to talk like that. But yeah. See where that come from. In other news, this is in sad. You know what? I don't even want to. I'll end the podcast on that note. I won't even go sad right here. I want to go a little bright. The NBA playoffs are coming to a swift end. We got two more rounds left. The Eastern Conference Finals is set. The Indiana Pacers and the Boston Celtics. And then I think the Western Conference Final is set to, well, I just lied like a mother. I just lied big time. As we're recording this, if you can see, I have my phone in my hand. Minnesota leads Denver in the fourth quarter, 11 minutes left, 70-67. So that game isn't over. That series isn't over. But the Dallas Mavericks won their series yesterday. Luka and Kyrie have beaten OKC Thunder. They beat the number one seed. It's rare that you will see that happen in a sense like that. Most number one seeds at least get to the Western Conference Finals. Most. But they were a young team. I had faith in that team. I think Chet Holmgren, I've been saying it, I think Chet Holmgren is better than Wemby. That's just my personal opinion. He can play team basketball better than Wemby. Wemby is a great talent, but I think Chet plays better team basketball. I love Shea, even though we not rocking with the Canadians right now until Doc get a green light. We ain't rocking with the Canadians. I love Shea. They have a great team, man. They have a great team, but I think they need a solidified star, older star. So they need an older player just to ground the team. Just to ground the team, man. Just to ground that team. Honestly, I would trade to get Paul George back over there or somebody like that, man. I would trade for someone like that who can ground the team and give them old sage advice. Cause I think that's all they missing. Other than that, that team is fired. They're gonna be hell on wheels for the next 10 years. OKC is gonna be hell on. If they can keep that team together, they're gonna be hell on wheels for the next 10 years. And they have so many first round picks that like it's insane. So they have a lot of trade capital or a lot of just bargaining capital around the league. Because I don't know. I don't see too many big free agents wanting to go to OKC, but I don't know why. OKC sounds like a good city. It's just a small market. Uh, but they're gonna they're gonna be hell for 10 years. I think Minnesota is gonna be hell for the next at least five, because Cat is young, but he's getting older, uh, and he's a big human, man. It's just hard for big humans that big for humans. It's hard for humans that big to stay healthy for a long time. It's just you too. Like, I'm 6'4", bro. Like, I just went to the chiropractor for the first time ever in my life in 34 years, almost 35 years, and found out some stuff about my back, sound about my spine, my neck. My neck a little down bad. It's flat. It should be like this. It's flat. My back good. The arch of my back good, but like some of my back disc moving like this, the spacing in between a lot of my discs off. So I'm just having to be reset. So I found out about that. At 6'4", 300 some pounds. I'm 6'4". I can only imagine a guy who's 6'10", 270 or 300 pounds, how, you know, and he runs for a living, works out for a living, you know, he does all this, takes abuse on his body for a living. I can only imagine how bad his body is breaking down. I don't want to say fast, because it probably ain't happening fast, but I can just imagine how his body is breaking down. So when I think about Cat, I just don't see long lifespan in the league. That's why I give Minnesota the next 5 years. I don't think Denver is going anywhere for the next 5 years. Dallas, long as they can keep Kyrie, they not going nowhere. I don't know what the Clippers gonna do. The Clippers just weird, but they got a squad, so I get them the next year or two. Uh, who who else? Who else in the West? No, if Zion can play 60 games, 65 games in the regular season, and give New Orleans a good seed, get them a top 4, top 5 seed, uh, they're scary. I think they're gonna trade Bi, but that don't matter. Zion is what drive that team. Uh, them Memphis when Ja gets back, gonna be scary. The West, it's just the West is loaded, man. You notice I didn't mention Bron. I don't think Bron got much longer. I don't think he got much longer. But the Lakers got capital too. So I think they'll be fine. They just won't, they'll make noise. It's what the Warriors can do, how they can retool. They gonna make noise. It's just Sacramento. It's just the West is loaded. The West is loaded. The East, I don't really know about the East. I got a sleeper horse that I'm watching in the East. I got Paulo Banchero, however you pronounce it. He's that deal, and I think he's gonna carry the Magic a long way. If they can pair him with another star, a superstar, he gonna carry the Magic a long way. So at the East next year playoffs, you'll have the Magic. You'll have, of course, Indiana. You'll have the Celtics. You'll have Miami. New York is gonna be amazing when they get everybody back and healthy. Philly when Joel gets back and he's healthy. Shoot, who else? Who else? I'm leaving somebody out, and it's somebody good too. I'm leaving them out. It's somebody good, but I can't remember. But yeah, so the playoffs we in good hands in sports for the next few years. The playoffs will not be disappointing. I'm rooting for it this year. Where we at right now in time, rooting for Dallas to win it all. I want Dallas to win it all. And if not Dallas, I want Minnesota. I'm a Bruin fan, so I really don't have no real ties behind in this. But if I'm just being honest and objective on who I want to win, I want Dallas to win because of Kyrie. Strictly because of Kyrie. Kyrie is, man, when he left Bron, I ain't gonna lie, I flipped out on Kyrie. I flipped out on Kyrie. I was hurt, man. Like, man, you a bum, blah, blah, blah. But now, after all that COVID stuff and seeing how the league did him, then how he then came back and how he balling in Dallas and how he like really, he looked like the leader of that team. And he balling on both ends of the floor. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Like, I really want to see Kyrie win the ring, man. You know, that BS happened in Brooklyn with him, he got hurt. Well, I was about to say he got hurt, but Giannis hurt him. Giannis put his foot under him, and Kyrie got hurt. That BS happened. That BS in Boston. You know, I think Kyrie deserves a ring. I hope he go win it this year, and that's actually who I'm predicting to win. I think they'll go 7 games with Minnesota if Minnesota win tonight. I don't want to say Minnesota. Then I look down at my phone and Minnesota winning. But yeah, I'm rooting for Dallas and Kyrie Irving. I think the Celtics. Everybody predicting the Celtics to sweep the Pacers in 4. I think it's going to be a 6 to 7 game series. I think it's going to be a 6 to 7 game series. I don't think they're going to sweep the Pacers. The Pacers actually look good. And I don't trust Boston. I don't trust Jason Tatum. I don't trust him. This is series to make everybody trust him, but I don't trust him. So that's the NBA playoffs. And I said I was going to end on this is a sad note. We all seen Friday, if you in the social media world, you seen the horrific video that was released. It's horrific. If you watch this podcast before, you know I got a sister, you know I got a niece. They mean more to me than, yeah, I can't even put into words how much they mean to me, but they mean that much to me. We seen the horrific video of Cassie Ventura. Find out that's her last name. One of my favorite movies in the world is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the second one. But to find out that was her name, hold on, let me pull up this video, matter of fact, while we talking. I'm being a producer. Producer and the talent. Come on, baby. So, we seen the horrific video of Cassie. Man, she's this beautiful, petite young lady, man. Probably Cassie can't weigh no more than 120 pounds, if she weigh that much. And she probably 5'6", if that tall, 5'7". Seen a horrific video of Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, Love, Brother Love, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call him. We seen the horrific video of him running down a hotel hallway, basically dragging this girl by the head down to the floor and then kicking her how you would kick a dog. How you would kick a dog that you absolutely hate, or a cat that you absolutely hate. Or how you would kick a kickball or something. Man, just the lowest of the low stuff. It's inanimate object, something that, a kickball, a football, a soccer ball, a tire. You don't kick humans how? unless you really hate this human or you really mean to harm this human. You don't kick them how P Diddy how he kicked this girl and he hit this girl. We seen this video, but today, before I even get to today, well, I'll play the video. Today he released a apology.
The darkest times in your life, sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
Bullshit.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
Man, shut the...
I'm not asking for forgiveness.
Look, man, I'm just gonna cut it off. That's what came out today. Apology video came out today where he really didn't apologize to Cassie. And then you know, it was a time on Instagram where he released a little caption picture that said it's gonna come a time where all the lies against him, blah, blah, blah. And like, bro, he pinned that on his Instagram page. You didn't apologize to that girl. You settled with her because you knew this stuff. You knew you had this stuff. Yeah, man, before I get in all that, if I got any friends in my life, real talk, this is the realest thing I'll ever say. I would take my glasses off of this. If I got any friends in my life, any homies, any homeboys, if we cool, and you out here doing what he did to that girl, to your old lady, your wife, or any woman in general, if you out there doing that, we don't need to hang together, brother. We don't need to hang together. I try to do my due diligence in life and not even get in my friends' relationship stuff. I really do. I don't even act. I don't even, like, I'm talking about my close friends, 20, 25-year friendships. I don't ask they for their old lady number. I'm probably not friends with their old lady on social media. I'm cool with their old lady. If I see their old lady or their wife or whatever, I would gladly talk to their old lady. I would gladly conversate. Anything they need me to drop them off, that they need something from me, I do it. But I try to stay away from anything dealing with their relationship. That's just my view on how to deal with that. It could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel about stuff like that. So a lot of times I don't know what niggas doing. If you my friend, you my homie, I don't know what you got going on behind closed doors. I don't know what you doing to your wife or your old lady or a girl you interested in or you just messing around with. I don't know what you're doing. But listen to me and listen to me closely. If you out here doing to them what P. Diddy did to this girl, we do not need to be friends. I am fine. If you are a big factor in my life, which you help generate something in my life, I will find another way to get whatever I need generated. But as far as us being friends, as us being cool, as us playing music together, I don't want to do none of that, brother. I don't want to kick it with you. I don't want to hang with you. I don't want to do nothing with you if you're doing women like that, bro. Don't no woman deserve to be done like that, bro. Even if they hit you, don't no woman deserve to be done like that. Now, I ain't saying I got a rule. I got a rule in my life. I give a woman 3 times. 3 times to hit me. You got 3 times. On the 3rd time, I'm going to put you through the wall. I ain't going to punch you, but I'm going to put you through the wall. Or I'm going to slam you on the ground. I'm going to do, it won't be a nut, I kick you, but I will slam you. But, you know, that's provoked. That's clearly like, hey, man, you done hit me 3 times. My mama told me, that's a rule my mama made me take on in life. So blame my mama. But other than that, I wouldn't think to put my hand on a woman. I couldn't even envision why I would hit a woman. I couldn't envision it. Like, that's sick, bro. That's sick, man. And like, if that's one video, just imagine how, bro, the wild thing is, that wasn't the first time he ever did that. That's the wildest thing that I don't think we really thinking about as the general public. That wasn't the first time he hit that girl, man. That wasn't the first time. You see how she left? You see how she was trying to get in the elevator? You see how she was trying to get in the elevator? She had a hood on. She had all her stuff packed. She had on big clothes. She was covered up from head to toe. Cause she know what he on. And guess what? She ain't the first girl he done did that to. I guarantee you that ain't the first. My sister went through some domestic violence stuff early on in her life. And I think this is why, like, it bothered me. I think why this stuff like that really bothered me. Because I think when my sister was going through this in life, me and my sister 11 years apart. So say she was 18, 17 when this stuff was going on. She had a boyfriend, 17. It's crazy. If he ever see this, man, what's up with your Kool-Aid? What's up with your brother? We're cool now. But like, I'm 6, 7 years old, seeing my sister come home with a bloody nose. Not because she was fighting women, because she was fighting a nigga. Now, mind you, my sister is damn near my height. I'm taller than my sister now. But at the time I was 67, my sister was probably 6'1", 6'2", in the best shape of her life. Stocky, in the best shape of her life. Super strong, just a hell of a human. But she also a woman, so she's soft too. But she was in the best shape of her life. But like, at 6'7", I'm seeing this, man. I ain't never seen my dad do nothing with I think like, man, it's crazy. This is a little too much information I'm about to give y'all about my life, but this is real stuff. My parents loved each other, bro, and like it was the wild, but the way they showed it that they love each other was just a toxic love. It's very argumentative love, very like, man, it was a wild love, like, wow. Like very verbally abusive love at some times. Very verbally abusive. So I grew up under that, but that don't really bother me. Like the verbal abusive stuff don't bother me. Because you just have to grow to get thick skin. And then you can work through that. But like with now, we all know how to, hey, let's talk through this, and not talk to each other like that no more. But at 6, 7 years old, I would see my sister come home with bloody nose or a black eye or something. Because she didn't call a nigga cheating. And my sister always been a hothead her whole life. Ever since I knew her, she been a hothead. I don't think, when she was young, she said she wasn't like that. But she said when she got in her first fight when she was like 10, 11, ever since then, she been just on go. She ain't letting nobody play with. But that come from letting so many people play with you early on in life to where you finally realize, like, oh, I can beat most people up. You're not going to let nobody play with you. So she always been like that. But seeing that, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, seeing that, I have a real disdain for people I know that beat on women. And this may, I may have some close friends that actually beat on women. But if I ever find out you beat on women, bro, trust me, we're not hanging out, bro. We have nothing to talk about. Nothing, bro. It's nothing that we have to talk about. Cause you're a sick person, bro. You sick. You almost, in my eyes, like you like a pedophile. Same people. Same people, bro. In my eyes. Clinically, they ain't the same people. And I'm sure other people don't view them the same. But I look at you like that, bro. A rapist. Like you beat on women, bro. You beat on women. And most dudes who beat on women won't fight a dude. They won't. They won't fight a dude. Most. I ain't saying all of them. It's probably a lot of them out there that will fight dudes and beat dudes up. But most who beat on women won't fight a dude. They go to work and get talked bad to all day. Get their manhood tested all day. And then come home and beat on a woman. As soon as she could have said something that wasn't even meant to test your manhood, but it tested your manhood, and you go crazy. It's crazy, man. It's a wild thing. I don't think my dad ever hit my mama. I ain't never seen my dad hit my mama. I ain't never been in an instance where I thought he hit my mama. And once I got to like 14, I was taller than my daddy. 14, 15, soon they get to arguing, I run in the room. 14, 15, I run in the room. You ain't gonna keep talking to her like that. I will let my daddy know. The crazy thing is, man, anybody watching this video, you may not believe it, bro. You may not believe it, but I swear, I wish my mama was still alive. She'll tell you. I run in the room. I go lay right beside her. Nope, you ain't gonna talk to her like that, brother. My daddy just leave out the room. He just leave out the room because my daddy knew. He knew he knew. Oh, that boy respect their mama. He respect women. Yeah, I try not to cut. If I'm like close with a woman, I don't even want to cuss around a woman. Like if I'm close to the woman, like if I'm trying to be on like, if I'm trying to kick it with her, let's say that. If I'm trying to kick it with a woman, now most of you women, I gladly cuss around you if I ain't trying to get nothing from you, or you ain't trying to get nothing from me. If we just talking, we in a situation, I'm gonna cuss my ass off around you. But women that I'm like trying to date or kick it with or whatever, I try not to. It depends on the woman. If she start letting them fly, I'm just gonna let them fly. Fuck it. But at the gate, no, I try not to cuss. I try not to cuss, man. That's just like the respect level I have for women. So to see somebody like that, it blow my mind. But not only do it blow my mind on the domestic violence side of things, it's like if this is it's some episodes ago, I would have to pull it up and do a flashback. I can't remember the episode. And it's about P. Diddy, I think. It may have been about P. Diddy. Well, I was like, man, the entertainment industry, the music industry is probably why I compared it to masonry, where, they say we all worship the devil. And then my lodge, I ain't never worshiped the devil. The Bible open every time I go in my lodge. It gotta be open. The Bible there, ain't no crazy stuff going on. We praying. Somebody gonna pray and reverence God before we do anything in there. So like in my lodge, I ain't never seen nobody worship the devil, but is there lodges who probably do worship the devil? It probably is. So the entertainment industry and the music industry, same way. Is everybody in there fucking little kids, fucking each other, being evil people, taking money from people, all type of stuff? No, everybody ain't doing that. But is it a good number of people, a good section of people? It most likely probably is. So I say, what you say that to say, Ray? I'm gonna make a shirt with that on there. What you say that to say, Ray? I say that to say about Diddy. He has so many allegations against him. He killed Tupac. He had something to do with Biggie. He messed over all his artists. Craig Mack, they all died broke. Or blah, blah, blah. Or they go crazy after dealing with Diddy. Or he had Shine set up. to go to jail. It's all these rumors, man, all these freak offs, all these things. Are all of them true? I doubt all of them true. But is a good majority of them true? I bet a good majority of everything they say about P. Diddy is true. I bet a good majority of everything they say about him is true. Keefe D saying Puffy paid them to kill Tupac. I think that's real. I think that's real, man. I think that's real, bro. I think that's real. Or however the story go, Keefe D may be saying, he may not be saying that Puffy paid them directly, but he paid somebody, a Crip, to kill Tupac. I think that's real, man. I think that's 100% real. That's 100% real, brother. And you can't trace it back to him. Because there wasn't a lot of ways to get money to people back then. How it is now, you can get money to people all type of ways. But guess what? It's all traceable nowadays. It's all go away. Wasn't a lot of ways back then. You probably wired it or you get cash out and you just take it to them personally. Wasn't a lot of ways. I think that's true. I think everything about these freak offs is true. I think he a freaky ass dude. Freaky ass dude. He a 69 God, and you need to run for your life. I think he would actually. I think he actually was having that girl pick male escorts, and he was jacking off, watching her have like power. I think power overwhelmed him to go from the little broke boy in Harlem to one of the most powerful music executives in hip hop. I think it overwhelmed him, bro. I think it overwhelmed him. And he's a sick individual. He needs help. And this fake ass apology that you released today, like, bro, chill out. Like, he slapped, rumors that he slapped Drake. I really think he slapped Drake. Broke that man's shoulder, whatever he's supposed to broke from him. That really happened. He got anger issues. If he'll do that to her, what you think he'll do to Drake? A nigga who don't pose a threat. Who, when you look at him, is like, oh, he not gonna do nothing if I hit him. Yeah, he slapped him. I think, then, look, he made these people walk all these miles for a piece of cheesecake on a TV show. Man, that dude, he's a sick individual, bro. Power, bro. Power, man. Power is a scary name. I just want to reiterate, if I have people in my life like Diddy, if you in the freak offs, you in the beating on your woman, I dang near want to say if you verbally abusive to her. But, I just know how it is, man. Sometimes we get emotional and words come out, but so I ain't gonna hold you to that one. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us. But if you physically beating on your woman, dog, and you my friend, and you got freak offs where you making your woman do all these threesomes and she don't want to do all these threesomes, she's just doing these threesomes to please you, or these threesomes, or you got trains, you let niggas, hey, my come let my homie smash too. You doing it with your wife. You doing anything of the sorts with your wife, your old lady, woman you interested in, hey, brother, we don't need to be friends. We can end our relationship now. Just want to say that for the record. Let's see who's winning before I get off of here. Oh, man, it's crazy, bro. Minnesota finna win. They up 92-84. Wow, 92-84 for the proper people. Trying to think of what else I had to talk about. I don't remember. But this has been another episode of Scatterbrain, the Ray Bradford podcast. Like I always say, find your grandmama, find your granddaddy, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, your bae, your boo, your lover, your boo thing, whatever you call them. Hug on them, tell them you love them. Peace out. Y'all be safe.